Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. I am cooking again, and it's not really going to be anything fancy tonight. We are making chicken, and it's obvious I'm not as creative with the titles as I could be, but that's okay, because it's all about the food. Now, I'm also getting lazy with that. I got a good deal on chicken, but it's frozen. So we're going to have to do something about that pretty quickly. And since I can't eat all this by myself, I don't want to unfreeze it and freeze it and unfreeze it and freeze it. So what do you do about that sort of thing? Well, you get you a Ziploc bag. And this is a neat trick. We're also going to make succotash. So while this is thawing, we can get that going. But you take your chicken breasts and you put them in your Ziploc bags. More on this later. And you know, I probably could have done this before the cooking stream, but if I had, I wouldn't have anything to talk with you guys about. Yeah, let's do a couple more. Just because. And the reason we're going to put these in Ziploc bags is because we are going to thaw them in water. And you don't want to dump them down directly into the water because they will get real nasty. So once they're in Ziploc bags, and I think we could probably fit two of the little ones in here and it'll be fine. Yeah. There we are. All we have to do now, pardon me a moment, is get a rather large bowl. Because, I mean, you could fill your sink up with water, but that's more wasteful than getting a bowl. And you can swap out the water a little easier. So we're going to seal these back up. Okay. And we're going to get going on this. Give me a sec. I should probably rest a little better. Alright, water in the bowl. I would bring you guys over to see the bowl filling up, but I don't see how anyone could possibly screw this up. Now, you put your chicken in your bowl. And you set that down in your sink, and you check your water temperature every now and then. So succotash. Everyone has heard of succotash. If you live in the South, it needs no explanation. If you are not from the South, which I originally am not, my first introduction to succotash was Sylvester the Cat going, "Thuffer and succotash!" Well, what it is lima beans and corn. But tonight we're going to do a little bit of a different take on it. We are going to do it with cream corn, which means that we are going to knock the edge off of these in a skillet with a little bit of butter first. This is experimental recipe territory, so we're going to find out how it comes out together. So let's get going here. First thing is first, we get oh, you guys are over there. Come with me if you want to leave. We get a pot for the cream corn. We get a skillet for the lima beans. We get this schmutz out of our way so that we can work. And we get Paula Dean's favorite kitchen accessory, butter. Anyone want to take bets on how many streams I can do before this big wad of butter runs out? Alright, so, knife. Don't be pointing knives at people. Hack off a chunk of butter and we will set it there in our pan. The pan's not on yet, but the butter does not care. It will start melting when we turn it on. But in the meantime, let's open up our stuff. Hey, Shame, how's it going, man? Hope you're doing good today. It was fun chatting with you in Noisy's stream the other day. I hope we can get together and play some UT real soon. That's going to be a blast. In the meantime, I'm going to open these cans real quick, so if any of y'all are on headphones, go ahead and cover your ears, because this thing's wildly loud. There's the cream corn. And here is the lima beans. There we go. Now, we drain the lima beans, but we do not drain the cream corn because that would defeat the purpose of buying cream corn. All right. So we set the lima beans aside. Come over here. Cream corn. It's wonderful. See? Very nice. Except maybe we get a little bit extra in there. You can get a little water and rinse that right out. It will cook off. And that's what you got in your pan. It's very exciting. So now we're going to we're going to wash our hand first. Give me a second. And we're also going to check on our chicken because it's thawing. And the reason it works submerged in water like this in these baggies is see, it's already starting to thaw nicely. But what you want to do is change out your water because the water starts to chill because the chicken is cold. It's like throwing ice down in the warm water. So change out your water ever so often and the chicken will thaw a lot faster. Also, it floats like little icebergs, so flop over the frozen side down after you let it sit a minute so that it will thaw more evenly. While we wait, away we go with the lima beans. And I'm not turning on the corn. Well, yeah, I guess I'll turn on the corn real low. Yeah, real low heat on the corn because it's pretty much cooked and we're not ready for it yet. We just want it warm when we throw the lima beans in it. As far as the lima beans go, our butter's melting. So we get a little salt, a little pepper. That's all you need for this, really. We're not going to get overly fancy with the lima beans because you don't really need to. Although, when I drained them, I got the lid stuck down in here, so let's see if we can get this off of here without cutting our hand off. There we go. Beautiful. Now we set that aside, bind up our lacerations, and add a little salt and pepper to the mix. We already added salt. Those are smelling really good. I guess I can turn this corn up a little bit. Alright, a little more pepper. Because lima beans are good with black pepper. Now while those warm up a second, let me see what you guys are up to. Not much as it turns out, but I appreciate you being here. Let me put my can opener away here. And, there we go. Lima beans are good. While we wait for them to cook, I have a tiny harmonica. See, it's just a little bitty, tiny diatonic harmonica. It's fun. but I want it out of my way. As you can see, I didn't quite get all the water off of those, but that's not going to be a problem. Let's see. You don't know how to play Unreal Tournament? Well, unfortunately, that's not one of the things you can explain to someone. The current explanation of the day, I think, is unfortunately get good. But seriously, practice makes perfect, and just get on the thing and just keep at it until you get good at it, because that's the only I have no other advice than that, and I wish I did. Oh, there we go. Of course, even if I did explain to you how I have my keyboard laid out and mouse mapped and everything like that, it would not do you any good, because I am left-handed and I put the mouse on the left side. So even if you copied my keyboard layout, it would not help you. Those are starting to smell really good. There we go. And don't worry, I suck at first-person shooters too, so. That said, we go back to our succotash here. We're just going to put the lima beans right on into the corn. Let me get a spoon to help out with this. I promise you guys this stream's going to get a little bit more exciting when I get this chicken out of here. But for right now, we're just preparing the side dishes. And I should probably turn that down a little bit. There we go. That's the stuff right there. That's going to be wonderful. Now, while this pan's still hot, we're going to want to wash it out real quick, because, as I always say, if you wash a pan out while it is hot, it's a lot easier. Of course, I've kind of let this one cool a little too much while I was yapping, but it should still be all right. You always have that pan that you need to sit and let soak overnight. Well, if you wash it out while it's still hot, instead of waiting a few minutes for it to cool, it should be easy to clean. Now, while we're waiting for the chicken to thaw, we need to make the toppings for the chicken, which tonight are going to be a nice mixture of squash, onion, and dill. We're also going to change the water in the chicken real quick. It's thawing nicely. Then we're going to turn down our succotash. And tonight I'm cheating a little bit. The shiitake mushrooms I'm going to cut up, but the squash and onion I bought as a kit, because I didn't need like a whole squash just for me. But we will cut up the shiitakes here on stream, because it would not be a Hula-Cow Studios cooking stream if I didn't pull a big knife out on you guys. I was about to say big ass knife, but there are children present, and well, if you've never heard the word ass, you have now. Sorry. Let's see, what's good? Keyboard and change a lot of controls. Yeah, you'll have to probably change a lot of controls. I sent it over to you mapped pretty much how I play, and you won't get along with that very well, I don't think. But practice will make perfect. There you go. Just like with anything. Yeah. I do like shiitakes. What I'm probably also going to do, even though I got this as a kit, I'm going to chop these up a little finer because they're just a little bit too big for my taste. Oh wait, that was an onion. Let me get a little light going on in here. There we go. That's nice. They've even pre-seasoned it for us. Too bad they didn't cut it up very well. Now, if you got a big pile of stuff like this, a big knife is nice because you can just kind of rock it through the whole thing and get it all chopped up a little finer without too much ado. Of course, I could have used a bigger cutting board because it kind of goes everywhere if you do this, but that's okay. What I think I'm going to do with most of this chicken is wrap it up in a piece of naan and make kind of a chicken wrap with a little Caesar dressing and some Swiss cheese and all that good stuff. I probably better go and put an eyeball on that succotash real quick. You guys, yeah, you guys sit tight a second. Yeah, come with me. Oh yeah, it's fine. Just give it a stir every now and then so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. You also want to taste it because it's tasty. It's hot, but it's tasty. That is absolutely perfect. So, we're going to move that off the heat for right now, and I'll get a lid for it so it stays warm. I've got a lid somewhere. That ain't the right lid, but it'll work. Yeah. Okay. Get our pan down again. And isn't it nice? It's already clean for the next time around. So, a little more butter. Actually, quite a bit more butter, because the mushrooms will absorb a lot of butter as they cook. And we'll put them in first. So how are you guys doing this evening? Everyone okay? Everyone enjoying their evening? I hope so. I was cold earlier, but I guess I could take this jacket off in the kitchen. Get comfortable and stay a while. There we go. Much better. Okay. Little salt. Little mushrooms. Get our cutting board full of onions and squash and zucchini and all kinds of other delicious stuff right here. I'm trying to pick up all the stuff that has fallen off of it, so that'll take just a second. In the meanwhile, you guys get to stare at my chin. There we go. Well, that almost went well. Okay, let's check on the chicken. And yeah, it's thawing really nicely. And see, it hadn't been that long, and that, like, frozen solid chicken is almost, I don't want to drag it. Let me turn this. I don't want to drag it over here, but see, it does not hardly look frozen. You can't see that. I'll show you guys in a minute. But yeah, it's thawing quick. And it's better than like sticking it in the microwave, because that kind of gives it a weird texture if you thaw it in the microwave. But here we go. Just toss your vegetables. Hey, let's throw a little more butter in with that. And get them a lid to keep some of the heat in there and make them cook a little faster. Not that we really need them to cook a little bit faster, because we're still waiting for our chicken to finish thawing. But, you know, you might want to save time if you're doing it. All right, so cutting board into the dishwasher. I find if you clean as you go, you have much less to do when the meal is prepared. There we go. So I hope everyone out there is having a good day and getting ready for their week. I know I am. And tomorrow's going to be kind of a long day. I have several clients that I need to take care of, as well as a appraisal on my house, which is the last big step before I can buy the place. And I'm really looking forward to it, because you know, after I buy this place and take over the mortgage from it, I can build a sound booth in the room down the hall, and I won't have to go down to my office where it is cold and dark to do any of the voiceovers again. I could if I wanted to, but I will be able to stay up here where it's nice and bright and you can see nice sunshiny windows and all kinds of other cool things. So soon as the purchase on the house closes, I will do a stream showing you guys how to build a sound booth. But in the meantime, let's check on our stuff over here. Oh, that's looking really nice. And it could probably actually use a little bit more butter. Squash and mushrooms both absorb a lot of butter. And that's a bit much just to throw in one place, so we're going to break it up. We're going to cover that up again, and then we're going to wash the butter grease off our hands. There we go. Now all we got to do is keep an eye on it until it's done. And set it aside, and our chicken's almost ready, so I'm going to pull out a cutting board for it so that we can slice it up and get it ready to fry in the pan. And we're going to do it about the same as we're doing, well, over there for you guys. The vegetables, you know, butter, salt, pepper, that's all you really need for this. Cutting board for the chicken. Yeah, see, that's almost thawed. Gonna leave it in there just a little bit longer while we wait on this. Oh yeah, look at that. That's turning out beautiful. And it's gonna be really, really tasty. So, Noisy Boy Jr., who is a streamer and a friend of mine, we did a fun thing yesterday. He did a subscriber stream where he played games with his subscribers at their request. So, I am thinking about doing the same thing, except, with cooking. So if you guys have anything that you want to see me make here in the kitchen, and it could be something simple, it could be something fancy. It's like, I have always heard about this, but I don't know how to make it. I wish someone would show me how to make it, or at least try out the recipe before I have to. I am up for suggestions. So if you guys want to tell me what you would like to see cooked, I am completely down for that. So, send me a direct message, do something over in chat. Wait, chat is over there for you guys. Just let me know what you want to see me cook, and I'll cook it for you, because, I gotta eat every day. So, that said, let's take a look at our topper for our chicken here. Yeah, guys, I think that's about ready. We can probably set that aside in a minute here. Although I would like it to go just a moment longer to soften up those mushrooms, because I am going to be eating them as is. It's going to be kind of a filler for a wrap, and it's not going to be cooked down any further after I take it off. So we'll let it go another second while we wait for our chicken to finish thawing. Which I'm thinking about has. All right, chicken's thawed, guys. Here, let me spin you around so you can have a look at this. Actually, let me turn the pan off real quick, and then yeah. Ta-da-da! Thawed chicken. Pretty awesome, huh? Now, where'd my towel go? Oh, there it is. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. So we are just going to cut this up before we cook it. And that's for two reasons. One, I want it small anyway, but two, since it was frozen, you stand a better chance of making sure that it does still cook evenly between the cold and the room temperature spots if you cut it up small. And besides, I just want small pieces in my wrap. I was talking about Noisy a minute ago, and I would like to thank both him and Kira Buckland for giving me the idea of chicken. Both of them have been talking about chicken dishes so much the past couple of days that I just had to go and get me some. Kira apparently made a special road trip to get some Raising Cane's fried chicken. And that sounded so good that I thought about frying this, but I'm trying to be a little bit healthier. I need to start exercising. And you can tell by the way this shirt fits me. It used to be a lot more impressive when I was working out, and now it's just kind of loose on me. So, that being said, we're going to carve this up into little pieces, and then we're going to fry it up. And we could have got a bigger cutting board, but I didn't because I wasn't thinking. Always think about what you're going to do before you do it, and you won't be caught off guard. Says the guy that just did not do that. So, learn from my mistakes, kids. Okay. Let's go and get a pan going for this before I cut up any more. I will actually move the succotash off of here. Actually, no, tell you what. Let me move that off that back burner. Shuffle this over here. There we go. That's the spirit. And for the chicken. Give me just a second. Here. I know you don't want to stare at raw chicken for the next 2 minutes. But I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah. Butter. Butter for the chicken. Wipe that around in the pan a little bit. And we'll put our chicken in. And then we'll commence to cutting up the rest of our chicken. Spread it out good so that it, has plenty of chance to get done through. And don't let a bunch of pieces clump up on one another. And the nice thing about this is that it keeps real well. You can stick chicken in a Ziploc bag in your fridge, although not the same Ziploc bag you thawed it in. And you can eat on cold fried chicken for a few days. Always wash your hands when you've been touching chicken. Because there's a few things in this world that aren't any fun, which are related to foodborne illness. Salmonella, trichinosis, food poisoning. You don't want any of those things. And let's dump out our gross chicken water. And we will wash our sink with a disinfectant later. But for right now, let's cut up this chicken and get it in the pan before the other chicken gets too far ahead of it. Yeah, you can tell these pieces are thawed all the way through. And it's wonderful. I need to sharpen this knife. It's losing its edge a little bit. Not badly, but I'll tell you, a sharp knife in the kitchen is your friend. A dull knife will cause you lots of problems. Pardon me a minute, y'all, while I get these kind of put in here in a nice, well-distributed fashion so that they can cook evenly. And then we'll rinse this off. Always rinse it off really good, even if you're not washing it quite yet, because you don't want little clumpies of things sticking. It's gross if you do. That said, let's go season our chicken. Salt and pepper is all you really need for this. I mean, you can get as fancy as you want, but in this case, since it's going in a wrap, and there's already going to be vegetables and onions and things going with it, and we're using like a Caesar dressing with it, you don't need to go overboard. Because once you get that Caesar dressing on it, you won't taste most of the other herbs and spices anyway. What you will taste is the salt and the pepper. The salt is there and it gives it a saltiness, which is kind of apart from other herbs and spices and flavors. And the pepper also gives it kind of a little something. So that's all you really need for this one. And of course, we'll just toss this around a little bit. That pepper smells wonderful, and I'm going to get me a little more of it on here in a second. Perfect. All right, we're just going to let that go a second while we rinse off our knife. Actually, I got time. I'm just going to wash my knife. You take good care of your kitchen knives, and they will take good care of you. By the way, if any of you guys are curious, I have quite a few kitchen knives, and some of them were a lot more expensive than others. And I find if you have a knife you like and that you work well with, the price of it is kind of secondary. Like I have a couple of these Chinese style cook knives, but this one is my favorite, and it was just a cheap $18 Joyce Chen that I think I picked up at World Market or something like that. But yeah, it's a good knife. It's my friend, and I like it really well. So you don't have to have an expensive knife to have a nice knife and one that you like very well. And that's that. Let's go check the chicken. There we go. Oop. Excuse me. Black pepper. But it sure is going to taste good. You can see that there was still a lot of water in that chicken from it being frozen. Because it's kind of simmering right now as opposed to frying. So we got a little ways to go because we had to wait for that to cook off of it. The good news is that will actually ensure a pretty good and even cook on this. The bad news is we've got a little work to do if we want to have it that kind of seared, caramelized, crispy outer edge on it. So while we do that, I don't think I'm going to need any more butter for this, but I'm going to leave it out just in case. And while we wait, I'm going to do something about these Ziploc bags full of chicken juice. So, oh, let me check the chat first. Hey, Ma! Mom's in the chat! How you doing? Yeah, that's about 4 chicken breasts in there, so it is lots of chicken. But like I said earlier, I'm going to put it in Ziploc bags and stick it in the fridge, what I don't eat, so that I'll have cold fried chicken for the next few days. Tonight's is going to get rolled up in a piece of naan bread as a chicken Caesar wrap, and I'm going to stuff it also with these vegetables that I sauteed up. There's mushrooms, there's squash, there's onions. It's going to be really good. And I did a succotash. Well, it's a cream succotash with cream corn and lima beans. And it's over there chilling, but I'll show it to you while we wait on this. Here. There we go. Let's see if I can... See? It's very delicious. That's going to be really... Oh, it smells wonderful. Mmm. So let me go put this down real quick and we'll... I have not aimed that well. Sorry. Let me see how you guys are doing. Thank you. Oh, for anyone watching this in playback, Mom just said the food was looking good. So how you guys doing this evening? You and Tom doing all right? You getting plenty of rest? Oh, and I'm sure he's probably there somewhere in the background, so hi, Tom! I'm giving you a shout out live over the internet. Good stuff. Okay, while we wait on that, let me get the pita, the naan ready. It's not a pita. And for some reason, to me, uncooked, like when it's let me show you what I mean. Naan bread. But I like to put it in the microwave because to me, before you do, it kind of smells and tastes like latex paint. But when you cook it, it becomes fine. Speaking of fine, yeah, it's fine. I've had this for a few days. Can't use that plate. It's got kind of a silver leaf on it. There we go. So what we do is we stick it on a plate, And we're going to cover it with a piece of damp towel paper and stick it in the microwave to kind of steam it a little bit. Or we can throw it on a skillet with a little butter and kind of cook it up a bit. But just so long as you kind of heat it up and take that weird floury edge off of it, it tastes a lot better. Personal opinion. Let me go throw this away. I'll be right back. Hey, how's it going? Beikage's in the chat. How are you doing this evening? As for Mom, hi. Yeah, I'm not happy about you being tired, but it's to be expected. I don't want you overdoing things, and I know you've been doing a lot more lately, and I'm really proud of you and pleased for you. But don't overdo, okay? And hi as well, Tom. I hope you both are having a great evening. So what are you up to this evening, Beikage? I am making fried chicken with squash, mushrooms, and onions for the filler for a Caesar wrap. And we also have a nice cream of succotash with lima beans and cream corn. So, give me a sec. Wait. I need to get better with this. But yeah, so that's the evening's recipe lineup, and we're just waiting for the chicken to kind of simmer down a bit. We did a quick thaw on the chicken because it was in the freezer. So we stuck it in sealed bags and put it down in some warm water, which helps it to thaw faster. But still, the problem is when chicken is frozen like that, it still has a lot of water in it, and so as you can see, we need to wait for it to cook off a little bit. And the trick is letting it do it without getting the chicken dry. That's wonderful. Cleaning to do. I know that. I've been cleaning all weekend. The appraiser for the house is coming tomorrow, and that's the last big thing I need to do, and then I can buy this place. But that being said, I've been cleaning up a little bit, and it still has a little ways to go on that, but, you know, one thing at a time. Yeah, so the chicken is cooking down. There we go. And it's looking real good. It's only going to be another minute or two. While it does that, I'm going to run and get my coffee from the back room. I'll be right back. And I'm back. There we go. So yeah, you can hear that sizzling now. It means the water's kind of cooking off of it. And we just need to leave it in there long enough to get a nice little golden brown edge on it. And while we do that, well actually, yeah, I think it's good. I'm turning it off. So for our naan bread here, put it on a plate. Get yourself a piece of towel paper. Or a paper towel, depending on what part of the country you're from. Get a little bit, and then let me show you guys the procedure here. Just a little bit of water, let it run down so it gets damp. See how the water just kind of eats its way through the towel paper and eventually gets to the other side? We want it damp but not wringing wet. And then you just cover your naan bread with it. And I know naan means bread, so I'm essentially saying bread. And you are perfectly right to correct me on that. But that being said, you all know what I meant. Okay, so we let that go a second, and you know, after you get it out of there, if you want, you can even toast it in the pan if you want a little crisp on the edge. But what I'm going to be doing is rolling it. And so this kind of makes it soft enough to do that with. So when that gets out of the oven here in about 4 seconds, we are going to make us a chicken Caesar wrap. But before we do that, we need some Caesar dressing. No, I'm not going to make any right here because I am not going to grind up anchovies into paste in my own kitchen tonight because I'm hungry and I don't have the time. So, we're going to get us some Kraft Classic Caesar dressing. Don't leave home without it. Also, we want cheese. Also, I can't see what's going on with my stream, so paper towels there, yeah, here too. I can't see what is going on with my stream over there because the thing has frozen. So if one of you guys wants to tell me that I'm still live here, that would be great because I don't know if I am. So, at any rate, let's make us a chicken wrap. Woo, here we go. Oh, hang on. You guys want to see this. There we go. So it's nice and warm now, and so it's pliable. And the moisture keeps it so. It still smells like paint a little bit, so. I love pita bread and naan, but the problem is to me, until you cook it a little bit, it smells like latex paint, which is obviously not a deal breaker for me, but still live and still going. Thank you very much. So let's ladle some of this squash and zucchini and shiitake mushrooms and onions right onto this thing. There we go. Let's get that over there. And then, we'll just get us some big pieces of chicken, which are going to be wonderful. So look at that. We've got chicken and cheese and vegetables and all kinds of good stuff. Give our Caesar dressing a little shake. You don't need a whole lot, just enough to impart flavor. The chicken and the vegetables have plenty of flavor. And I don't like a whole lot of dressing in there. Just enough to give it some taste. You could also do a nice honey mustard or a sweet mustard sauce or even a barbecue. You could also add some hot sauce to it. Matter of fact, I think I might put a little dot of hot sauce on it. What do you guys think? Maybe on half, just so when I get to the bottom I get a little taste of hot sauce and, it adds another little dimension of flavor to it. Sorry, I'm trying to be real careful with this because this stuff is a little warm. And that's coming from me, who will eat a raw habanero without too much problem. So, they're wonderful though. They taste like citrus. That said, so here is our wrap. Now these things are kind of a pain to roll, and I should have started on this end or this end, but I didn't. So just do it as best you can. Always kind of make it into a bit of a cone so that one end is a little narrower than the other and you can hold on to it a little better. And if you want, get yourself a toothpick or two and put it there so that the thing does not come apart on you. Very tasty. Now all we've got to do is go and get ourselves some of this succotash. Ta-da! Pretty awesome, huh? Look at that. So we'll spoon some out onto the plate. Excuse me, let me move this so you guys can see it. You know, it's a little bit runny, and if it's runny like that, you can always put it in a little bowl or cup to enjoy. I've got these little clear ramekins that I usually use as a cooking tool, but for now, they're going to hold our cream of succotash. There we go. And let me tell you guys, I am really glad I put that extra black pepper in there. Because it tastes so good. Alright guys, well, last but not least, the leftover vegetables and the leftover chicken, I am going to just go ahead and put together, because I will use it as filler for the same kinds of things. And you can also put it like on tortillas and bake it with some cheese, and well, fry it in a pan with some cheese. You can make quesadillas out of this. You can make burritos, throw some rice in it. You can eat it by itself. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff with the leftovers of this. You can even bake it into like a breading to make like little empanadas or something. And you could even throw it into a bunch of mashed potatoes and make some bubble and squeak with it. Or a potato casserole or something. You can do all kinds of things with the leftovers of this. So don't be afraid to get creative with it. Now, let's wash this pan out real quick here, because I don't want it getting cold and turning into a big, hard, gloppy mess. And then after that, I will give you guys another glimpse at my dinner before I throw the stream over to somebody else and go eat. But in the meantime, since you guys are still here, what do y'all want to see me cook next time? Is there any dish that you'd like to see me prepare here in the Weber kitchen? And if there is, I would be more than happy to cook it up for you. Although, unfortunately, unless you live within driving distance of Cincinnati, there's not really any way I can get it to you for you to eat as well. But, again, if there's something you've always wanted to kind of see how it's made or how it comes out or something like that, let me know. I would be more than happy to do requests. So one of these days we'll do Duffy's short order kitchen here. Let's hang this pan up, get you guys a look at the food and favorite food. Oh, a curry! That sounds excellent. Now, what kind of curry do you like? Do you like one of the Indian curries, or do you like a Japanese curry? Ooh, I could do a massaman curry. I love massaman curry. Oh, man. Or, you know, we could do a yellow curry or a red curry. You pick, and I will get it done for you. And also, what kind of protein do you like in it? Do you like the beef, the seafood, the chicken, the tofu? Let me know. I'll cook it up right here. It'll be great. Let me go check on you guys, and while I do that, you can stare at my dinner for a moment. And I will go see who we're going to throw the stream over to this evening. You want to see something new? Golden curry. Well, tell you what. Have you ever had massaman curry? Because if you haven't, I will make some for you. And then you can make some, because it is wonderful. In the meantime, let's see who is streaming. Battery Powered Specs is streaming, and they are a brother and sister team of gamers. So I'm gonna throw you guys over to Aaron and Jess, and I will throw you guys over to Aaron and Jess in just a second here, and then I will go eat. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for coming by and spending the evening with me. I'm always happy to have you in my kitchen, and am really grateful that you've chosen to spend your evening watching me. So thank you again. Take care. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.